Nick here, coming to you from 9 Acre Overland Garage. In this video, we're going to be introducing you to my next project. So a little backstory. A couple months ago, I was sitting in the Kroger parking lot in Rojo, my red XJ, eating some lunch, and a man approached me in his car and asked me if I was interested in buying another Jeep Cherokee. So I was like, I don't know. What do you want for it? You know, miles, what's it look like, etc. Told me about $750 is what he's looking for. It was a 99 two-door. Well, some of you guys have been watching the show know we were looking for a two-door passenger seat for Rojo. So I told him I could take a look at it. A week or so went by. I finally got a key. I went and took a look. Rusted out pretty well. Didn't start, wouldn't run. Brake lines were all rusted out. Passenger seat was in good condition. So I told him I couldn't give him $750 for it, but if he decided he wanted scrap value for it, I'd come pick it up and give him the $250 for it. About a week later, he called me up and asked me if I was still up for that. I said, sure. So I went over there, Eleanor, my 350 in a trailer. Yeah, he put air in the tires. We winched it up onto the trailer. I brought it home. It took me, a couple weeks of troubleshooting. Needed a used PCM. Got one of those off eBay. New crank sensor and new fuel pump. Got one of those off Amazon. Did all those. Checked, replaced, fixed most of the grounds in the engine bay area. And it started right up. Runs good, runs strong. Has about 200,000 miles on it. And so I was like, all right, good. I've got a running Jeep. What can I do with this? So I started thinking to myself, it's a project I've been wanting to do for a while. And now I just got to find a second vehicle, the second piece of the puzzle for that project. Well, a couple weeks ago, I was sitting on my computer, poking around on old Facebook Marketplace, and came across the second piece of the puzzle. 2006 Jeep Commander with the 3.7 in it. Starts, runs, drives. Interior's pretty ate up. Rockers are rusted out, which is pretty typical, it seems, for most Jeeps anyways these days. I wanted $700 for it. So, I went over, took a look at it. Gave him $700 for it, drove it up on the trailer, brought it home. So, you might be asking yourself, what could I possibly want to do with a Jeep Cherokee, a 99, and a Jeep Commander? Well, I like the Cherokees. I've always liked the Cherokees. And, quite frankly, I like the Commanders. I didn't particularly care for the 3.7. I had an 07 a while back. And really, I wasn't a big fan of the 4.7 and the 5.7 either. I don't think they were particularly engines built or designed for what a Jeep should be. So the plan, all right, you ready for this? The plan is to transfer the bulk of the drivetrain out of the Cherokee and put it in the Commander, which means everything in the Commander's got to come out. Engine's coming out, transmission's coming out, transfer case is coming out. All of the electrical control modules, wiring harness, everything. It's all coming out. It's getting gutted. I'll probably keep the rear axle because they're both at 8.25. They have to be re-geared though. So not in addition to the 4-liter, the swap, we're also going to do a solid front axle swap. Planning to do maybe about a 4.5-inch lift. I don't know yet. I'm thinking 4.5. I like to run a nice 33, get plenty of articulation, or maybe a 35. I haven't decided yet. Where the rockers are rusted out, we'll go ahead and get some tubing to put in there, make rock sliders, similar you would do in the XJ. Gears, like I said, I'm not sure yet. It'll depend on what size tire I decide to go with. For the front, on the Dana 30, we'll go ahead and do the WJ knuckle swap. If I do, I think it's after a year 2000, I should have the same bolt pattern front and rear, a 5-on-5, whereas the Cherokee stock is a 5-on-4.5. So that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, it's going to be tedious. It's going to be a tough job. It's going to be a big job. I figure getting the Commander gutted first. That's step one, especially with getting the drivetrain and everything out of it. Step two will be getting the engine removed out of the Cherokee. I'm not too worried about getting the rest of the wiring and everything out of the Cherokee yet, because basically I want to just see if I can get the engine, make sure I can get the engine, the rest of the drivetrain to fit. If I can't do that, well, then I can at least put the drivetrain back in the Cherokee and then, I don't know, try and sell it or do something with it. I don't think it's going to be a problem. The Commander's considerably bigger than the Cherokee. As far as some initial measurements I've taken, there should be plenty of room front to back. And the Commander, I'll probably end up doing away with the 2-fan system found on the Cherokees and going with just a single fan, mechanical fan found in the like the early WJs. And then I'll probably lose a little bit of power off the engine, not maybe a lot, but probably just a little bit because it's a little extra weight that's got to turn. But I think that's probably going to be the best option there. Now, some of you might be asking, well, why would you do this? Well, this is silly. This is dumb. Well, I don't know. I always wanted to do it. And we'll get into some of the numbers here in a minute. We'll go in the house. I'll pull up the sheets. I got some horsepower and torque specs off of Hypertech. Gear ratios I ran through Tremec. And yeah, like I said, I like the Commanders. I think they could have done a better job with them. They made them 3 rows, and I think they're expecting them to be just a popular grocery getter, soccer mom, soccer dad vehicle. I don't think they're geared quite right, and the engine selection I don't think was particularly good for what most, I don't want to say most anymore, a lot of us use our Jeeps for, which is actual off-roading and trails, camping and the such. So that's a quick intro to what we're doing. I'm going to put my cat down. It's getting hair all over me. This is Key. She was a TNR. If you don't know what that is, it's trap and release. She was a stray. Trapped her, took her to the Humane Society, got her fixed, and now, well, she won't leave me alone. So she's our new outdoor barn / garage / shop cat / mouser. And yeah, let's get inside. Let me show you some numbers. Let me know what you think. I'll probably do the videos like I was doing my Rojo videos. Like I try to get them posted every Wednesday morning. At I think 6:30 is when I had them, or maybe it was midnight, 12:30. I don't remember. Anyway, so it'll be Wednesday morning is when each new one will go. So this will be the first one. The second one will be the initial teardown. Not entirely, but just whatever I get done in a particular weekend, that'll be the next episode. And then the same for the following weekend. So my guess will be initial teardown, and the second one will be finishing the teardown, at least on the outside, getting the engine and transmission out. Going to the third episode, will probably be moving to the inside, getting the dash pulled apart, getting all the wiring and everything pulled out, getting the interior and everything pulled out. And then down to time-wise, fourth episode might be the rest of the interior, doing a good look over for rust and corrosion, what might need to be fixed. Like I said, I've already been under it. I know the rockers are pretty rusted out. I think I could fix that with just some tubing and make some rock sliders out of it. The ideal build here will be for a solid overland vehicle. I mean, I like the Cherokee. It's a little small. It's a little tight, especially when you get into 2 people in gear. The Commander's not that much bigger, but it is. I think once I strip a lot of the extra crap out of it, like the electronics and stuff, I'll have room for other components, so I can do a better job of hiding the solar charge controllers, maybe the batteries, and stuff like that. Maybe I can figure out a way to do some extra storage in the areas and whatnot. But yeah, all right, let's get into the house. I'll walk you through some of the numbers. Basically, it just has to do with the engines, transmissions, torque, horsepower values, and why I'm doing this. Why? So I imagine that's a question a lot of you are asking yourself. And I'll try to keep the videos to 30 minutes or less. So there we have it. Let's get inside. Hope you stay with me.
All right, so Jeep Commander by the numbers. 3 available engine models: the 3.7, the 4.7, and the 5.7. First one is the 3.7. Looking here at the Hypertech horsepower and torque chart. You reach your max horsepower a little over 5,000 RPM, your max torque a little over 4,000 RPM. In order to achieve peak torque, 4150, this is how fast you got to be driving in each gear. I don't think we're ever going to see that. Moving on to the 4.7. All right, so for the 4.7, you get a max horsepower up around 5,000 RPM and a max torque at just over 4,000 RPM. Again, with the factory gears and the factory tire size, this is how fast you'd have to be traveling to reach max torque. 5.7, slightly better with a max horsepower up a little over 5,000 RPM and a max torque at just under 4,500 RPM. Factory gears, factory tire size. This is how fast you have to be traveling to achieve max torque in each gear. I picked torque because it's a little more important more often than horsepower. Moving on to the Cherokee. Here it is, 99 Cherokee by the numbers, the 4-liter. So, not too dissimilar horsepower-wise. Max up around 47 RPM. Max torque is up around 3,400 RPM. But you can see you've got torque available from 1,200 all the way up, unlike the other 3 engines. So, to achieve max torque at 3,400, this is how fast you have to be driving. However, so you've got minus 15 foot-pounds of torque from your peak, starting at 1,200 RPM. All right, so what's this mean to me? What's it mean to you? I don't know what it means to you. I'll tell you what it means to me. Looking at the chart, specifically the ones from Hypertech, I find it curious that for the 3.7, the 4.7, the 5.7, that there is no information, no data below 3,300 RPM. And honestly, that's probably where most of us spend our time, and the Jeep is below 3,300 RPM, especially if you're off-road. So having that information would be nice. I asked Hypertech if it's been omitted. If they have it, I haven't heard back. Probably won't. Which is sort of why I like the 4-liter, as I pointed out. So yeah, max torque is at 3,400 RPM, but it's like 185 foot-pounds. But at 1,200 RPM, I've got 170 foot-pounds. So, just above idle. Basically, I'm in first gear, and I've already got 90% of what my max torque is. And these don't have that, as far as I can tell, from the other 3 engines. The 4-liter has got more aftermarket support. I like it for that aspect of it. There's not near the amount of electronic components and computers associated with it, as there are with like the 3.7, the 4.7, the 5.7, even the transmissions and the transfer cases with electronic controlled everything. So it's another bonus there that this is going to achieve, is ridding all that out. The electrical components I do need for the 4-liter are pretty readily available. I can even buy them and keep them on the Jeep for not next to nothing. But if I was going to go on a very long remote trip, I wanted to have anything I could possibly need, sensor, computer, PCM wise. That I could probably have them all for about $1,000. That'd be some serious peace of mind. What else? Mechanical components available. Junkyards, even in a small town in the middle of nowhere, you can probably still find half the mechanical stuff you need. Built 231 transfer case. So that's why I'm doing it. I think it'd be cool too. The only, maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody else has done it. I have no idea. One of, if not the only, Jeep Commanders with the 4-liter inline 6 and a solid front axle. If I do get the engine to fit, everything, is looking kosher there, I might, say, I want a little more power. And stroke it. I don't know. Stroke it, cams, port the head, header, I guess. Anyways, big beefy 4.6 inline, 6-cylinder under the hood. That'd be, put me right up there with the horsepower wise, close to the, possibly close to the 5.7. Way better torque ratings. So it's going to be a lengthy process. Appreciate if you like and subscribe. Stick around, watch, comment, anything. Post them down below. If you're near Central Ohio or passing through and you want to check out the project, hit me up. Let me know. See what we can work out and get your hands dirty. Cool. Let me know. A lot of stuff to do. It's going to be fun. Big learning experience. Hopefully I'm learning. You guys are learning. So stay tuned for the next video. Should be out, about a week after this one. So thanks for stopping. Thanks for watching. Again, like and subscribe. Until next time.